Yo, what's going on, Dragon Ballers? Welcome back to another deck profile. We are here with the Jordan Markle, who claimed a second place spot at this past week's Origins. What's going on, Jordan?
Not much, man. Just got back from Origins, and yeah, just glad I could get a top with Zamasu.
Yeah, dude, you've been talking about the Zamasu deck, and a lot of people were really hyped on this deck when it was released because it was the first Wish deck in a while. It's a fan favorite leader and archetype, but it didn't really take off on release. But you decided to just like stick to it, play it, which is really really cool. I think it was a really good pick too because Red was not very popular first week of Ultimate Squad. But I guess in your own words, why play Zamasu?
I'm a big fan of yellow. I played the color a lot. But all the yellow decks right now I didn't really enjoy. Sin, I like Sin a little bit, but I've played Sin for so long. Sin's been out for a long time. Everybody knows Sin. And I'm not a huge fan of Trunks Vegeta, so I just wanted a different yellow deck to play. And I just came across this one. I didn't even play it off rip. I kind of like waited a while till the set came out, died down a little bit, and then I was just like, you know what, I'll try it out. And I decided to really like it. Yeah, I don't know. It's from there. It just draws a lot of cards, and I just like the yellow deck, so I decided to give it a shot.
Awesome. So it's got a fit for your playstyle, and I think it is a really cool deck. I mean, I love Aegis, so the fact that anything like this has Aegis, I'm intrigued. But anyways,
Exactly.
let's get into the main deck. Let's start with the leader.
For sure. Yeah. So on the front side, it's attack, search, 2 Dragon Balls. Pretty standard for some like Meki Kabura. You swing 2 Dragon Balls. The awaken skill is nice though because you can awaken at 3 or less life. That gives you an out in case you have more Dragon Balls in life or you get aggroed down, so you can still play. And this deck can actually play at 3 life pretty effectively, so I never really had an issue with that. So 7 Dragon Balls or 3 or less life. And then the backside, when you awaken, you draw 1. So no untap on the leader, which kind of hurts it a little bit, but it's still fine. On the backside, you can search for a Dragon Ball, and you can search your Dragon Ball or draw a card. The last skill where you remove the 7 Dragon Balls, they go back into your deck when you awaken. So you never really that skill doesn't come up very often because usually you're doing other stuff with your drop area. You're either overwhelming. Like I just don't play for it because it's not good enough. It's not a good enough skill to play for, really.
Yeah, it
Realistically.
definitely doesn't seem the most consistent unless you're playing cards that allow you to like dump your Dragon Balls again. Like if you're just relying on the leader alone, it's not going to happen that often.
Yeah, correct. Yeah, so it's a very slow process. So I just don't go for it. And like some builds do play the unisons and ball searchers, which I'll get into that in a sec. But I don't really play those. So all right. So here is the Dragon Ball lineup I played. I played 4 of the regular Dragon Ball and 3 Coercion. I think it worked perfect. You don't want to play too many of these because sometimes they can get clunky if you don't have gods in your hand to warp. But I thought the 3-4 split was good, and also like you need 2 for riposte, or generally you want 2 for riposte. So I thought like if one was still in prizes or one was like still in the deck, you still have 2 to use for that. But outside of that, I mean you can play any ratios you want as long as you play at least 2 coercion. I think it's fine, but it's up to your playstyle, I guess. We'll get into the dual color stuff. I ran for the Zamasu. This is just basically a land, essentially. It's a blue-yellow that comes play untapped if you play this leader. Or I think it's any Zamasu or any Goku Black leader. Pretty generic, just... The deck is blue-yellow, so I want the blue energy for stuff I'll show.
So I know the red
Up.
matchup, that card is very volatile, but like was that card like ever your main strategy in a certain matchup?
This card, actually no. Like, I know you can play, and I didn't specify that, but this card I never really wanted to play because it's so energy. It costs 4 energy to play, so it's a lot of energy investment for something that I already have like technically on the board. In the red matchup, I kind of went away from the Aegis thing because they can just neg it and kill it. I think versus red you have to play differently, but against everything else. You could go into this guy if you want, but I just never did.
Gotcha. So you're trying to keep it a little bit more like low to the ground, a little less energy expensive.
Yep. And this is I could have started with this guy, but this guy is one of the reasons outside of just like drawing a lot of cards that I wanted to play the deck. It has Aegis, it has Indestructible, it has Blocker, so you can block every turn. To basically, except against red because they can negate you. Just everything else, you just block. You get a free block. You can pan then block. You can do other things and then block. get the Aegis off, rest any one card except their leader, so you can tap down energy. So it's good for defense, but it's also good for punishing them for just attacking essentially, because you get you 2 energy back, their attack doesn't go through, and then you also rest in energy. So it's just like, I don't know, it's just really good, and it's one of the main reasons I played the card. You do need to have a Goku Black and Zamasu in your combo area to play it for 1 blue and 1 yellow. It's like a type of a rival, essentially. It's really easy to do in the deck. It really doesn't hurt me at all.
So here's a question I have that kind of gets into like some nitty gritty Dragon Ball. So this card has the Aegis that doesn't net you a card, right? Like Bojack,
Correct.
that got banned, the really broken card from back in the day. That card would Aegis, untap your blue yellow, and it would draw you a card, right? This card doesn't do that, but this card still taps something when it uses Aegis. Is that right?
Yes.
Okay, cool.
Yep, any card.
So that compared to the 4-drop, like, so you just don't value the 4 energy investment to start Aegising and drawing cards?
Correct. Yeah. So like the 4 energy, just like a lot of games don't really come up to where like I can afford to play this. Also, counterplays are a thing. It doesn't have deflect to my knowledge, so a lot of matchups I just don't really want to invest 4 energy into that. If you could do it, I mean, it'd be great. This card is very good if you can get it out. It's just it seems pretty tough, and it seems very like sketchy to do in a lot of matchups. And yeah, the draw would be nice, and it also restands. I think this one restands as well.
I think it does, yeah, for like a double block or like a swing and a block. But no, I think the Dragon Ball veterans are gonna appreciate that little tidbit. For
sure. I think the resting the card is very good. I don't know if it's better than drawing a card per se, but resting definitely sets up your kill turns a little bit better, I would say.
Cool.
For Zamasu, check land. Counterplay comes up sometimes, not too much, but here and there. But yeah, just another land. Trying to get a few blue down for this card I'm about to show you. Kefla. So Kefla is my choice as like kind of like a boss monster for the deck. It is heavy on blue, so you do have to have 2 blue, but because of the Zamasu, both Zamasus, when you play unrested, I felt like it was doable, and it was pretty much. It was very easy to get it off. Bottom deck anything with barrier, so it's barrier removal in the deck that didn't have it. And yeah, I mean 30k dual attack. You get some more draws. Deck has a huge hand size when you're going on all cylinders, even with like the Aegis and stuff, depleting a little bit of your hand. And yeah, I mean 30k dual attack, double strike, really strong, and it has blocker too on defense if you need it for like a free block.
Yeah, it's definitely gonna become the heart and soul blue yellow as time goes on.
Yep. And then I got to run the 4 Zamasu super combo.
Very fancy.
Yes. This deck looks awesome. Like this is like one of my favorite looking decks too. There's so many cool cards in it. But yeah, no, I ran this because obviously I'm rivaling Kefla. It also helps for the Zamasu because I do need a Zamasu in the combo area. But yeah, no, I mean it's a solid super combo, and I just wanted to stay consistent as possible, so I just ran 4 of it, even though I would have liked to run like, Krillin or something. But it was very good all weekend. It's good against aggro too. Like it definitely punishes people for playing super aggressive. Unison of choice. I went with 2 Trunks. This deck doesn't really rely on Unison that much. It just if it comes up, it comes up type thing. 3 mana, 20k dual attacker, can clear some stuff if needed, can wipe a board if needed. Definitely played it a few times here and there, but deck doesn't really rely on Unison, so it's kind of just there as like I don't know, just like an extra piece if I needed it.
So what do you think about SS2 Gohan in the deck as opposed to Trunks? The differences and like the pros and cons.
I think SS2 Gohan's good. I have this thing where I don't test new sets early enough, so I didn't really think about playing it in the deck till afterwards. But I think you could easily swap that Unison in for these 2 and just play it as like a standalone Unison that just draws a card. I think it's very strong. It has blocker, so it also fits like kind of like the like you have multiple blockers in the deck, so that's nice. I think if you go like a more, this is my only Unison I play, so if you play like a more Unison heavy build, which is a thing, then I think Gohan would be even better. So I think it's a pretty solid choice if you want to go that route. Alright, we got 2 Turles. Just ran 2. Sometimes your Awakening on the front side, if you go first, can be rough, and on the front side, it's not a Saiyan, so you can't play it. So you have to wait till you're on your backside to play it. So I just ran 2. It's removal, 20k double strike, just a solid card. I just don't want to play too many, because, early game you can't really play them in this deck. Two cooler. I'm a fan of two cooler. In the main, it won me a match against a game against SS4 Vegeta. Just had 6 energy going in my kill turn. Just had both of them. Stop the hatch of D Magic. Like, I don't know. I just like two cooler. It's just a good card. Counter.
I'm starting to like two cooler a lot more in the main as well. And I should have asked in the beginning, is this 60 cards?
Yes, yeah, it's
Alright,
exactly 60 cards. Because I could not cut it any further because playing the 7 Dragon Balls.
Right.
So yeah, it's a very tight deck. You don't only have much space because of the Dragon Balls, but I could not cut it any further, unfortunately.
Yeah, for sure.
For a post, standard. I mean, you search a Dragon Ball when you awaken. You search a Dragon Ball back after it goes to the bottom, so you pretty much always have one yellow extra card in the drop area at all times. And then you just need one other one. So usually I charge one, or or you can pitch one off some effects. But I don't know. It's Riposte is pretty much always live.
Yeah, they get there.
Or at least at 2 at least. Then we got for the Goku Black. This is, I'd say, the main Goku Black that I use for like the arrival stuff, because you want to, in tandem with this Zamasu, you want to combo these both to arrival your 5-drop, and then warp them both, and you draw a card, and then you get value from the warp as well. This is like obviously the combo. I ran 4 Goku Black because I was lacking on Goku Blacks, and I had plenty of Zamasu, so that's why I ran 3. Even though this card is like a really good turn 1 play, I just couldn't find the room for the 4th one, and it ended up working out fine. Like, I usually saw it when I needed to, so you could run 4, but I didn't want to cut anything else.
Yeah, I was gonna ask you exactly about that, but it's good to know that you would like to play 4 if you could, I guess.
Yeah. The 4th one definitely would be nice, and I think in like maybe a different build I could, but like I just couldn't cut anything. I wanted to, but I just couldn't. All right, and then we got 3 of the blue Goku Black because I wanted more Goku Blacks because obviously, like I said, they're lacking and you need them for the 5-drop. So I went 3 of this guy, and this guy I actually played him a lot more than I thought I would, because you can go the Zamasu, 2 Zamasus basically in order, and then you have 2 blue on turn 2. You get an energy up, draw 2, cycle. Just a solid turn 2 play. For sure. And also you can combo it off for the 5-drop. Gotta have 4 Bean.
Of course.
I mean, standard. I mean, you have multiple dual attackers in this deck too, so it gets even more value. Played 3 of the blocker negate. Also, I'd say pretty standard. I think a lot of decks are running 2 to 3 blocker negates, maybe even 4, but I think most of my decks I like 3, so just ran 3 as well. Standard. Went with 2 Forbidden Power. I wasn't sure if I wanted to play Nimbus or this, because I do value the negate on Nimbus, but I also value the plus 10k on offense for this as well. So it was like tough to judge which one I wanted. I play blockers. I play the indestructible blocker, so that's why I like playing this is okay. I think if I didn't run any blockers, I'd probably just run Nimbus.
Yeah, I think in this type of deck you have so many battle tricks that Forbidden Power not negating is actually very okay.
Yeah, that's pretty much what it came down to. Why I decided to run this one, just like being able to do this, block, rest, like pitch for Aegis, rest a Unison, maybe pitch something, play the Goku from the drop or the warp, rest something else. You can do all those tricks. 1 Bergamo. I mean, again, just
broken yellow.
Literally, the theme of the deck is just tapping things down. So yeah, like I mean, you can Aegis and then play this guy, and then tap 3 things. It's pretty good. Yeah. So every time I saw that, I just jammed it. Like, why not? 1 Power of the Super Saiyan. You got 2. Generally, my turn 3 charge is a mono yellow. Just to make sure I have this active, or maybe have Riposte active for the rest of the game, so that way I don't need to worry about it. Just depends on how my hand is, but like I also paid 1 for this card sometimes because you have extra energy a lot of the time, so it's not that bad to like pay 1 to negate or just pay 1 to tap something and draw. So it's fine. I think you can do that. Hopefully you can do that.
Yeah.
Anyway, Pan, SCR of choice. There's a few options I consider. I consider the Kai, because Kai is also good. I think like warping the board is very good this format. Gohan Pickle is also another one. I just didn't want to cut my Zamasu, so I just ran Pan. And Pan was great. Like, Pan's also, like you said, I can pan and block, do a lot of battle tricks, like that. And then my overwhelming choice was 1 Scientist Fu. I was getting people all day with this. I mean, you could play Mirror too. I think either one's fine, their preference, but I like drawing 2 cards. Yeah, I have a bunch of energy on tap in the deck, so.
This is dope to see this card come back, honestly. Like, you know,
Yeah.
set 3 staple. Now that Fighting Against Fate is gone, this card is just back in action.
Yeah, dude, I love this guy. He's awesome. I just love drawing cards.
All right, let's check out the side deck, and you can let us know what matchups you brought in certain cards. Because it was sideboard
yeah.
best of 1 for anyone who doesn't know.
Yes, it was sideboard best of 1. And here is my sideboard. I was like, where did it go? It was right here a second ago.
Walked away.
Yeah, pretty much. That's why I was like, yo, what happened? Anyway, so here, so we got 2 Vegetas. Yeah, I mean, I guess pretty. I just swapped them in for the other Unison if I needed them. I didn't particularly like them versus U7. I think it's okay versus them if you know you're going first, but if you don't, like it's going second, they don't do as much. But they're solid card. Multiple matchups they come in. Mm-hmm. 2 Basil. I decided 2 Basil because I couldn't find room in the main, bro. I swear, like I wanted to put this card in there because it's so good. 1 mana, 19k. The deck needs more attackers. So actually on Friday, didn't do so great on Friday, but I added these into the deck, and I think it did make the deck a little better. I found space for them, but yeah, going forward might be a main deck card, but definitely solid. 2 Final Flash. Came in a couple times. I mean, it's just generically good. It's really the side deck's more about space than anything, and at least in best of 1 pre-side, you have the option to make your main deck whatever you want. So kind of makes it a little bit easier for this deck for me. So I just put them in the side. 2 Black Kamehameha again. Probably just like aggro stuff. Like I don't think I bring them in against anything in particular, but I thought it was a good enough card to side. It also can kill things in rest mode, so maybe against like Sin, you'd bring it into Killer 9-drop or something. Just a solid card. 2 Tyrannical Blow. I brought this in a couple times. Against a lot of like Floodgate decks, you can bring it in. I mean, you can bring it in against Repose. You can bring it against Blue Baby. They play 3-drop. I'm pretty sure they play Oceanus. Like you can bring it against a lot of things, just negate stuff. I don't know. And it negates a Unison, which is actually more of the reason why I want to do it, because you can bait them into playing something, negate it, and then you can negate their Unison, stuff like that. So I thought that was pretty solid. Got 3 Dabura. Yeah, I think you still want to play this. Cell's coming back. Cool. Green Cooler's a solid deck. It won me a game against Cell where they Cell chained me and I had all 3 in my hand, left 3 energy up, through 6. Yeah, good card. And last but not least, Quitakai. Same thing. Bring it against the Floodgates just to apply more pressure. And yeah, again, cycle 2. Just solid sideboard card. Nothing really too crazy there.
For sure, Big J. So again, like huge congratulations from us, from me, from the team, from everybody. Any shout outs you want to throw out there?
Yeah, you know, shout out to our sponsors, Mystic TCG, DBS Deck Planet. You know, shout out to you for doing the deck profile. Shout out the whole team for being the best team. I definitely have to shout out my boy Eden though, because Eden probably one of the only reasons I went to the event, because nobody was gonna go, and you know I didn't want to go by myself because that's boring. So Eden went and we had a really cool time, and it was a legit 4 days of gaming at Origins. Shout out to PPG as well for, you know, running the event, Bandai. Everybody involved, you know who you are. Appreciate everything.
Awesome, man. Congrats once again. We will see you in the next video. Yo, Dragon Ballers, quick break in the video to give a huge shout out to PPG, who is going above and beyond to make our organized play season the best that it can possibly be. I'm here on the PPG event management website. I'm going to link this down in the description, so all you have to do to sign up for any of these events is go down to that link. We have an event in Denver, which is for the Pro Play Tour organized season. Not only are you playing for an invite to the Pro Play Invitational, but you're also playing for $2,000 guaranteed. And if you want to, guys, there is also a Team War event in that same weekend, and Team War is one of the best formats to play. If you haven't played a tournament with your friends, you absolutely have to do it. And then finally, an event that I know for sure that I'll be attending is the Too Many Games convention in Philadelphia. This is actually a regional for the regular Dragon Ball Super organized play season. So again, guys, super huge shout out to PPG. Secondly, this website is so awesomely laid out. All you have to do is go to this website. All these different tabs here will take you to the events you want to sign up for. I hope to see you guys there. Let's get back into the video.